Right then, it's Barmy again. I wonder if you can hear me because I haven't got my gaming headset on this time. I'm just in the VR headset and I'm relying on the built-in microphone to capture the audio. Well, me talking at least. Yeah, I did try the Move controllers earlier on this morning and it was a bit of a, mixed experience. It could have been better, it could have been worse actually, but I found it overall to be a little bit on the frustrating side, so I'm back to using the tried and trusted aim controller here. And compared with the moves, I mean, it's just chalk and cheese. There's really no comparison. There's just not. It leads me to sort of think, would I recommend the game Sniper Elite VR for the PS VR if you don't have an aim controller? And it's difficult. It'd be difficult to recommend it. I guess it's, down to everybody at the end of the day how to get on with the moves. I mean, it might just be me, some people might find them easy, fairly straightforward, fairly intuitive. I don't, I never have. The lack of analog sticks is, basically because fundamentally they weren't built from the ground up for PSVR. They weren't. And not every PSVR game, requires the kind of movement you find in these kind of more open-ended, open-world kind of games. Many don't. I mean, Beat Saber comes to mind, where you just stood stationary swinging your arms about. And for that kind of game, they work very well. Why wouldn't they? They track very well, they work very well, there's no need for you to move about other than sort of, swaying from side to side occasionally, ducking and crouching. So yeah, I mean, it depends on the type of game whether or not the Move controllers are really fit for purpose. You can play the game with them. I mean, it's playable, but is it enjoyable? Personally speaking, I don't think it is. The technology is what it is. They're not, by the look of it, they're not going to bring out Move controllers with analog sticks for the current PSVR headset. When PSVR 2 comes along, which I'm sure it will in the next year or two, we'll see what kind of controllers are launched with that. And I would like to think that when they do come out, they do incorporate analog sticks. But for the moment, we are where we are. Yeah, the game is more accessible and more enjoyable, again, in my opinion, using the aim controller. So I would definitely recommend Sniper Elite VR if you have an aim controller. Absolutely. Especially if you're a fan of the series. I mean, it is what it is, you know what I mean? The maps are nowhere near as big as they are on the flat screen versions of Sniper Elite. You wouldn't expect them to be necessarily. However, when it, compared like for like with other VR games, it stands up fairly well. The fact that it incorporates and is supported by the aim controller is a huge bonus, or a huge selling point, or a huge plus. Definitely is. not all games do incorporate or support the move. I beg your pardon, the aim. For those that don't, it's a shame they don't. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners comes to mind. Absolutely fantastic game. It doesn't support the aim controller, unfortunately. But despite the fact that it doesn't, and despite the fact that I'm pretty sure you're required to use the moves, it still is my favourite PSVR game to date. Resident Evil 7 is playable and compatible with the PSVR system using the DualShock 4 controller, believe it or not. And it works very, very well. It's a terrifying experience in VR, to the point where I haven't actually completed the whole game in VR because it's that sort of intense. So if you only have a DualShock 4 and you're looking for a VR experience, Resident Evil 7 all day. If you do have the Move controllers, highly recommend The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. If you have an aim controller, absolutely again recommend Sniper Elite VR with the aim. So those are my impressions and my thoughts. Haven't tried the Move controllers. Probably won't be going back to them on this particular game. I mean, I don't really think it's necessary when I've got the aim controller. So yeah, if you have got an aim controller, or if you're thinking of getting one, and if you like Sniper Elite and you're thinking of getting the Sniper Elite VR, hopefully this will have been of some use, of some help to you. If you do pick it up and you do try it with any of the controls, be it the aim, the moves, or even the DualShock, let me know how you get on and what your impressions are with different control systems, and just your overall impressions of the game in general. And I'll be interested in hearing what your thoughts are on the game. So in the meantime, I'll leave you to it. Continue just grinding this particular weapon, trying to get it into gold, and I'll catch you soon. Thanks again, take care, stay safe.